Wrestling fans from around the corner, around the world. I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way.
Cheer! Why, hello! I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product, so support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
We're friends, Andre, please.
Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
You will never, ever see it again.
Austin face to face with McMahon.
Nobody tells Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do or when to do it.
And that's the bottom line.
Neither of these superstars is leaving this match without a few scars.
The story will end with me becoming the Universal Champion.
I don't think I've ever seen two more evenly matched competitors in my life.
WWE's greatest rivalries, available online or wherever books are sold.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there, live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti, joined by...
This is Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
Tony, the wrestling world is buzzing right now. There's so much going on with so many different promotions, new promotions, talent moving here, there, and everywhere. This episode, we heard from some of the great fans, more than one. Funny enough, with the conversation we just had when we went on the air, this one is in regards to especially Sasha Banks and some of the other superstars in WWE now trying to quit and get out of the company.
Why is that?
Well, I guess Sasha was disappointed the way she's been pushed, and that she lost the women's tag team title at WrestleMania, and she tried to give her notice, and instead of granting it to her on the spot, they told her to go home and think about it for a couple of weeks. I don't understand that mindset, Tony, when someone works so long to try and get to WWE, and you're given maybe not the main event push for the women, but a very healthy spot. I can't see walking away from it.
We live, and I know this from experience, sometimes us as humans, we start thinking we worth more than what we worth. And so we do what they call a power play. We try to make a point. There was a lot of women and guys that had made that mistake. God rest her soul, China made that mistake. When they told her, don't go making that Wonder Woman movie, and she went and did it anyway. They told me to go and to the show in Philly. I decided to go to California. You know, she was a very, very fortunate young woman. I mean, she's not a very big individual.
No.
She's very fortunate to be related to Snoop Dogg. That helped her a lot, you know, having that type of stuff. Now she got to go on her own. And
well, she hasn't been released yet, so
she's released.
She could come back and say she wants to.
She ain't coming.
No?
She's gone. She's gone. When you put fear into your employees, tell your employee that you want to leave. See, they never fire you on the spot. You always get it at home. That's why they say go home and think about it. Now, what they do, they have a meeting. Now, if she do decide to come back, they're going to destroy her. Her career is over.
They'll job her out?
They job her out.
She won't be reliable in their eyes. Is that what it is?
Yeah, she lost that. Because what she did, Johnny Rodz told me when I first went to WWE when the old man ran it. And he said, these people will make you a millionaire. But if you screw on one time, they would never use you in that position again.
They can't trust you.
She just told them, you can't trust me. That's all she did. She let the wrestling world, and not just the wrestling world, everybody that affiliated with the WWE is looking at it the same way. They said, look, this girl had a hell of an opportunity. Well, look what happened with Bret Hart. I mean, he was hotter than Sasha Banks. A lot more popular.
Hotter than Sasha Banks.
A lot hotter
he was
than
the face
Sasha
of the
Banks.
company for a while.
That's what I'm saying. He was the face of the company. But he decided that he wanted to take off on Vince and go WCW. What happened to his career out there? He had
well,
no career
WWE forced him out the door in that situation.
No, they didn't.
Sure they did.
No, he signed a contract to go to WCW.
And well, what happened, Tony, back in September of '97, after he signed the contract the previous year, Vince McMahon said they couldn't afford it, and he wanted to pay it to him in the back end of the 20-year contract, and Bret didn't think they would honor it. So that's when Vince said he had the chance to go and try and get the same deal out of WCW they'd offered him before.
Yeah.
So he was the champion, and they basically said to him, we have to cut your pay or you can leave.
Yeah, they told Mark Henry that too, but he stayed.
Okay.
A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing.
Well, he got a lot of money out of WCW. That didn't turn into nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, his career ended there.
Well, that was due to injury.
He never had a wrestling career after he left Vince. That was it.
It was a very poor run in WCW.
It was over when he left Vince. His wrestling career was over. See, this is what a lot of WWE don't need Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks need WWE. Without WWE, she's going to find herself getting lower and lower and lower on the totem pole. We was at the convention. I was there with a lot of guys that at one time in the WWE, they was on top of the world. Now they sitting right beside us, you know, right beside me, who've been gone for a long time, making less money than I'm making.
Right.
You know, I watched the tables. I saw VIP. Is that his name?
MVP.
MVP.
Yeah.
And what was the other guy with the full name?
Chris Masters.
Chris Masters. They didn't have no more people at their table than we had at ours. In fact, I think we outdid them. But they was there for a long time, and all of a sudden VIP or MVP did the same thing, right? He left, right?
Yep.
Now what he doing?
Not much.
See what I'm saying? See? Trying to sell a $10 picture. Whereas with Vince, this guy was getting $250,000 a year.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, walk away for $250,000 a year because he didn't like the way they doing things.
Well, sometimes maybe it's quality of life and peace of mind over the paycheck.
No.
No.
It's called a big head.
You think that's
what it is? You start
believing
believing your own publicity. You know how I know.
You lived
I know
it.
I did it.
So you think maybe that Sasha's starting to think she is the boss?
Head. She got the big head. She made a power play. They call it a power play. You don't walk up around a guy right around Easter time, right out the TV, and talk about quitting right out the TV.
Well, can you understand her frustrations that they took the belt off of her?
No.
Well, she's been vocal about her displeasure with some of the creative in the past. She did a radio interview a couple of years ago. I think, I didn't say it because John Cena Sr. and I did an interview about it here in the studio at the time, but I will now. Someone within the WWE system, we'll say, without naming names, they said in a conversation with Vince McMahon, he said she's going to turn into the female Daniel Bryan, where she's going to be very injury prone and not going to have much longevity because she's so slight. Do you think that is also another concern? She's not, even women aren't as big as men to begin with, but here you have a situation where even by the female standard, she's rather slight, I guess is the way I'd word it.
What happened to humans? We get stupid. And we got things good. You know, when she said she was quitting, let me tell you something. Every woman in the WWE celebrated. Nobody is sad that Sasha is gone. No woman there. Like when I left, Chief Dave Strongbow told me, he said, Tony, do you think these guys care about what happened to you? He said, they're going to be glad you gone so they could take your spot. You know how many women right now is kissing up to Triple H, kissing up to Stephanie, and say, who you going to put in that spot? She left a spot. They glad she gone. Every woman there is glad Sasha is gone.
Well, again, we need to see how it works itself out, but it's usually not indicative of a healthy relationship.
Vince is not going to let, if Vince let her do that, well, you got to understand, he just told every wrestler there that they could do that.
At the same time, though, I look at it like this, Tony. You had that, did you hear about the John Oliver interview a few weeks back, right before WrestleMania? Do you know who John Oliver is,
no.
the commentator on TV? He did, I believe, a 20 or so minute piece on labor relations in WWE, how they're called independent contractors when in a lot of ways they don't appear to be independent contractors. Right. So that put a little bit of heat on WWE. The New York Times picked up on it, a couple of the other newspapers. If Sasha Banks is indeed an independent contractor, you think she could leave that position at will if she was a true independent contractor?
Right, but we know that's fake.
Well, where the spotlight is kind of on WWE right now, would they want to risk the negative publicity of not letting her go if she really wants to?
Vince, smart. Vince don't hire anybody. He don't get into nothing without first having a way out. She made the biggest mistake of her wrestling career. They would never push her like that again. See, this is what one of the things that was in wrestling in my day. Bob Backlund, for example, good friend of mine, great individual. Hogan was the hardest wrestler in the world before he came to Vince. He was selling out everything.
Huge for AWA.
Huge for
Big
AWA.
business.
I mean, they was packing, turning away people with this guy because of the Rocky movie. Rocky became one of the biggest movie drawing money than any movie during that period of time,
right.
And Hogan was a part of that. Movie producers, everybody wanted the Hogan, everybody wanted the Huckster. Vince was making no money with Backlund. Not like Vern was making with Hogan.
Right.
So Vince worked out a deal with Hogan to come back to be a champion. So he wanted Backlund to drop the belt. Vince made Backlund, made him rich, made him famous. He was nobody before he went with Vince. That's the truth. I'm not knocking Bob. He's a great individual, great athlete, and a very good friend of mine.
No,
one of my very best friends.
He wasn't much of a name before he ever came to WWF.
Nobody is, except for somebody like Sting or Ric Flair. You know, but them are exception, or Andre the Giant.
Right.
You know, but these are, you have your exception to the rule.
Right.
But even Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was Stunning Steve Austin before he became Stone Cold. He wasn't, you know, what he is now.
Right.
I had a good name before I went there, but that was a different time.
Different
period.
era.
Different era.
Right.
Undertaker wrestled all over the world, and me, Mark, and everything. Never really made it any big money until he became the Undertaker.
Right.
John Cena could have worked for WCW and all these places. Even The Rock could have worked for WCW. He didn't, all these places. He couldn't make no money with these people. He went with Vince, became a superstar. Vince know how to make stars. It's the largest. Everything after Vince is downhill. You're not working your way up when you leave Vince. You're working your way down because everything out there is beneath him. Mm-hmm. All these guys run with TNA and all these other groups, they working beneath Vince. If you're not with the WWE, nobody know who the hell you are. Even guys that work for WCW for years, people don't know them. The guys that work for NWA, people don't know them. Harley Race, one of the most popular wrestlers ever walked the face of the earth in the older days. But nobody up north knew him, or the world didn't know him until he worked for the WWE. That's the largest company in the wrestling world. There's nothing bigger. You got people, we just got to talk about WrestleMania with people coming from Europe.
All over the globe.
All over the globe to see this, to see these guys. And this woman is right in the mix of it. See, once in a while, they would ask you to do something. They would test you to see if you would do it. And then what caused that, it started back with Ed Strangler Lewis. They put the belt on him, but he was a hell of a shooter. And I used to hear a promoter talk in my day about putting belts on shooters. They said, how are we going to get it off of them? Once you put a belt on a shooter, how are you going
to get it off if they don't want to? Yep.
If it wasn't for the Iron Sheik, there would have never been a Hogan. There was no heel around that could take Bob. They couldn't beat him. So how you gonna get the belt off of him? Bob Backlund would have messed up that whole, there would be no WrestleMania. There would have been no Hulkamania. All the movies, all the glory would have never came during that period of time.
Right.
They would have to wait until Backlund relinquished the belt. By that time, it would have been 1990.
No.
You understand?
Yeah.
He would have lost the war with WCW. Dusty Rhodes' son would be the world champion now.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay?
Yep.
Goldust would have been the freaking champion now because Dusty Rhodes was in good with WCW. Or Bill Watts' son, or Jerry the King Lawler's son would have been there, but not Stone Cold. The good thing about Vince was not a wrestler. So Vince was more interested in working behind the scenes than in front of the camera. Other promoters like the Von Erichs and the Jerry Lawler and all them guys, they promoted to make themselves king. You see? So what Sasha Banks just did was stupid. How I know? I did it.
You lived it.
I lived it. And Vince gonna make it hard on her. Because he had to use her. She just made herself an example to the other women. But he just now started using women.
Right.
You know, ain't no, outside of Wendy Richter. Look what happened to Wendy when she did that.
Right.
Okay?
The first screw job that was not in Montreal, it was at MSG. What's funny, I mentioned that interview with John Cena Sr.
All she got to do is think about what happened to Wendy.
The first time she complained publicly about her issues with WWE Creative, it really knocked her down the totem pole as far as her push went.
Her mouth.
And now you have probably about a year and a half or so later, she's asking to be let out the door. What I find interesting, Tony, is that at a time when WWE is going to have more money than ever before with these new TV contracts they've signed, $8.5 million.
Action figures.
Right. So many talent won out. You had Luke Harper. I don't know if you're familiar with him from the Wyatt family. This week, he went on social media and he asked for his release. Reportedly, the Revival had asked to be let out of their contract. Reportedly, Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis had asked to be let out of their contract. There's a lot of unhappy campers, it appears, in WWE. Dean Ambrose, a main event guy that's got to be making a couple $1 million a year, his last weekend with WWE is when we're taping this. He's finishing up his house show, Luke.
Stupid.
Why do you think so many of these talents want out, Tony?
Because you don't have the same people as you had in the olden days. they got no kahunas. They good time Charlie. They there as long as think about what you just said. What you just said with Sasha Banks, as long as they make her champion, as long as she win every match, as long as she get everything she want, and the first time the office have her to do something that she don't want to do, she ready to go. Now I wouldn't marry a woman like that for all the money in the world, because she's gonna be with me as long as I'm making the money. She's gonna be with me as long as me and her don't fight, as long as the sex is good, as long as she get everything she wants. And the first time that I'm not able to give her what she want a new man. That was the old Tony Atlas. People started believing their own publicity, and they started thinking that they bigger than what they are. In 1 year after Sasha Banks leave the WWE universe, nobody gonna know who the hell she is. She's gonna go from making $250,000 a year to, if she's lucky, make $50,000 a year.
Doing independence, you mean?
Because without the independent gonna use it, they're gonna job her out too. They job out Mickey James. They're gonna use her to make other wrestlers. They're not gonna give her that type money. You know that. She's not gonna make that type money.
Do you think it's wise for these talents that do want to leave the company to do what Luke Harper did, not just request it, but put a message out there on social media to let fans know what had happened? Because I think that kind of puts WWE in a rough position as, okay, how do we not release this person now?
You already dug your own grave. You see, in every business, like Ole Anderson told me, said, Tony, you can have the best body, you could be the best looking, you could be the best wrestler, you could be the biggest drawer that we got, but if I can't depend on you, I can't use you. What the use in having a brand new car, but you could never drive it? What the use is buying a new home that you could never live in?
Right.
So, only thing that Sasha told them, and what Vince does, I wouldn't be surprised that 2 weeks from now, you get the thing on your thing that they just released Sasha Banks. Because Vince always do his firing when
they're at home, yep. It doesn't happen often at the arena, right.
When she went home, she don't even know if she ever going to see that arena again. And Vince don't want, now what if Vince bring her back now? Now that you know this, I'll give you a secret how I learned something.
All right.
I was in Poughkeepsie, New York. Me and SD rolled up together. I was with this girl named Lisa from Puerto Rico. She was half Puerto Rican, half Italian. And he always asked me to do jobs, that 2 years you were talking about, but never on TV.
Right.
See, never on TV. He had Hercules Hernandez and Slick.
Yep.
Tall, skinny guy.
Doctor of Style.
Yeah, Slick. So he said, Tony, Vince came in himself. First he's joking with me. He never asked me to do a job on TV. Never. So he said, Tony, I want you to put, he said, we need to get Hercules over. We need to get him over. He said, but the finish is not going to hurt you. And he said, we're going to shoot a little angle. He said, you would come back in the future to beat him. So I said, okay. I put everybody else over. I said, Vince, I don't really like doing job on TV. You know. He said, yeah, but this ain't gonna hurt you. And what it's gonna be, I pick him up for the press slam. And Slick gonna take the cane and reach through the rope, pull my leg from under me. I fall back with Hercules on top of me, 1, 2, 3. I said, okay, I do it. I thought about it. I said, I'm not doing it. So I took my wrestling gear off, put my boots on, and I went out to the car. I said, SD, I'll wait for you in the car. So Vince come back. Hercules don't go to the ring. Vince come back. Where's Tony? Said, Vince SD said, he's gone. Vince said, gone where? He's sitting in the car waiting for me. He said he's not going to do it. So Vince come out, sat in the car, he talked to me and everything. And they had a match later. I went and I did the job.
Now, how did he convince you to do it?
We just sat and talked to me. He said, Tony, I promise you he said, you had did good. You did everything we want you to do. He said, now I'm sorry to feel that I could trust you. He said, but you doing this is making me, think that. He said, I can trust you, Ken. I said, yeah. He said, well, just do this for me. He said, I won't have you do any more jobs on TV. And he said, later on, we got some plans for you that, to bring you back. He said, I could bring you back in a week. He said everything you did, you ain't hurt, I can bring you back. So we kept talking, and I'm walking to the dressing room. So Vince came back in the dressing room, and he said, well, I got some ideas for you. He said, what do you think after this? He said, I think about doing an angle where I dye your hair blonde.
What happened with Butch Reed?
Yeah.
You could have been Butch Reed.
But that's what he told me. Well, he was going to do that with me first.
That's what I mean.
But guess what killed it?
You quit.
No.
No?
No. I'm going to show you something about what Sasha just did that she don't know. We opened the door to leave the room we was at. Mm-hmm. George Steele had his ear up against the door, hearing every word we sing. Mm-hmm. Vince turned to me and said, Tony, you know what that means, don't you? I said, yeah, I know what it means. He told Mark Henry 1,001 times, said, Mark, I could tell you a lot of stuff if I could trust you. See, when Vince says something, if Vince bend for you, and go along with what you said. Bret Hart didn't understand this either. As long as it stayed between you and Vince, it will happen. Once the other wrestler hear about it, he can't do it now, because they're going to expect the same.
It opens up Pandora's box. Yep.
So if he brings Sasha Banks back,
and pushes her hard.
So if you know it and you're not even at the WWE, who in that dressing room don't know it?
If he brings her back and gives her a big push, everyone will start to go.
Every woman in that frickin' dressing room is going to go and stand him up. That's why he never brought the Warrior back, because the Warrior stood him up for money. He could not use the Warrior after that, because every wrestler would have waited for every pay-per-view. He would have a wrestler standing in that dressing room say, I ain't going in the ring unless I get ... Now, if the Warrior had done it privately, he would have got his money, but once the other wrestlers know, Sasha told the world, every woman there know what Sasha did. Every woman there. There's a lot of women, see, people today is about me. When I was wrestling, if I got Harley Race over and Harley Race packed the house, or if I put Ric Flair over, Ric Flair packed the house, I benefited. Today, they don't care about that, the young people. They care only about what in it for me. Me. That's Sasha. Me. She's not thinking about all the women that lay down in that ring to put her over. Charlotte Flair, who I think is one of the best athletes they got, lay down for that frickin' brawl. Look at all the women sacrificed for her. Look at all the money Vince put into her introduction, into her advertising. He spent millions of dollars on this girl.
Sure.
And then she's going to come out of the blue. If I can't be champion, I'm leaving. And he's going to say, okay, Sasha, we give you your belt back. Are you fucking ribbing me? After you go on national TV, you badmouth the company, you badmouth me, and then I'm supposed to turn around and do something for you?
Well, to be fair,
that's almost like a guy go and rape a woman and then want her to pay his mortgage after that.
To be fair, she hasn't made any public comments this time. When she knocked the company, it was, like I said, about a year and a half ago.
Well, you think Vince forgot?
Well, she hasn't been put in the women's main event position since.
Who did that to her?
What do you mean?
Put her in that position. She did.
Oh, okay.
Of course. You get on national TV and talk, everybody hears it now. It ain't like the good old days. I remember when Nick Romney was running for president against Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready to go to England. And they asked him a simple question. How you think England going to do in hosting the Olympics. Now he hosted one time
in Utah.
Instead of he's saying, I think they're gonna do a good. He's getting ready to get on a plane to go there. He's getting ready to go there. He talking about, well, they can't do as good as me. I could do a better job. He started knocking them. By the time he got to England, there was protesters out there.
Really?
On Nick Romley. You can look at on the computer. Probably still got clips of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
The news got to England before he got there.
Right.
It is an 8-hour flight.
Right.
Took him 8 hours to get there. Took the news 8 seconds.
Yep.
If you sit here and tell me about Sasha Banks, how many people know about that now? And Vince going to bring her back?
Lots of people.
And Vince going to bring her back? If you were Vince, will you bring her back? No, you can't.
I think I would be in the position what you just stated. It would be hard for me to believe in her, to push her.
Well, not only that, by bringing her back after this.
And it opens the door to everybody else. Every other girl, well, I don't like the way I'm going to be used. I'm going to go quit, and then they're going to cave to me.
That's right. That's right. That's where my buddy made a mistake for the presidency.
Who?
What's his name? Joe Biden.
You know Joe.
No, I don't.
Oh,
but
he's
I
your
like
buddy.
him.
You
I
like
like him a lot. I like Joe a lot. He's straightforward. He's a good American. I like him a lot. He started apologizing for something that happened 30-some years ago.
Oh, with the woman incident?
Yeah, with the Supreme Court guy. Yeah. He said, let dead horses lie, whatever they say.
Yeah.
But by him apologizing, you think he's gonna be apologizing through his own campaign? That ain't going away.
Right.
Once you start apologizing, you fall on your knees for someone, they ain't gonna let you back up.
Right.
They're gonna keep him on his knees. He's gonna be apologizing. If he run for president in 2020, he's gonna spend the whole 2020 saying, I'm sorry. Showing people, instead of showing his strength, he's gonna show this wimpy old man apologizing for something he did 20 years ago, and how is that gonna make people wanna vote for him?
Right.
By just him doing that apology, he don't realize he just threw away his presidency.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
You can't publicly challenge McMahon and expect to become successful with it. Because all you're doing is tell the other wrestler, look what I did. Vince told me himself, he said, Tony, you too good. I can't use you on bottom because you too good. And he said, and I can't use you on top because I can't trust what you're going to do. With me, you can't use me. Well, he said, I would love to bring you back, Tony. He told me many times back in the 90s. He said, but the other wrestlers going to feel that they could do what you did and come back and have a top position. So he brought me back several times, Legend House, but if you notice, he never brought me back in what position?
Top spot.
Never again.
Let me ask you this, Tony. You are a Hall of Famer. You've worked for every generation of McMahon there is. What advice would you give to a current WWE superstar now or in the future that wants their release from the company?
If you're not going to follow something through, once a test has begun, never quit until it's done. A winner never quit, and a quitter never win. Mark Henry, to me, I got more respect for Mark Henry outside of The Undertaker than any wrestler there.
Why?
Mark Henry had every reason in the world to leave. Mark Henry wishes that he was treated as nice as Sasha Banks. Mark Henry wishes that he would have got the push that Sasha Banks got in such a short time. They have did more for Sasha Banks in 1 year than they did for Mark Henry his whole career. And you know that and I know that. But Mark Henry is tough. He hung in there. A lot of people is around you when things is going good and going their way.
Sure.
It's kind of like being married. As long as everything is good, I love you, baby. But then the woman started putting on a little bit of weight, Now you don't want to have sex with her no more. She's not as sweet when you come home to her no more. She's more complaints than anything else now. So you don't want to, you hang out in the bar with your buddies there instead of going to the beach with her. Yeah, a little longer before you go home. Well, see, that's what people don't realize. When you're young, we're not just young, 'cause my wife is not young and she makes stupid decisions. I'm not young. I'm not young and I still make stupid decisions. But what I have realized that if somebody was going to give me a blood test, I'm the type of guy that would stay up all night to study for it. So, it's the light on upstairs, but nobody home. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I have made a lot of mistakes in my life, and Sasha Banks just made the biggest mistake of her life.
What about these other talents that also have wanted out? What advice would you give them?
They're stupid. Where they going to go?
Do you think the AEW group is going to be a financial...
You know how long it's going to take for that to happen?
Well, they are backed by a billionaire right now.
I don't care.
All right.
It don't matter.
You don't think in the immediate future it's going to be good for everybody?
No. Because once they become corporate like Vince, they're going to have the same attitude. If they don't, they won't survive. You can't have the inmates running the asylum.
Right.
You can't have the convict running the penitentiary.
Right.
And once you let the talent run things, you're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of problems. You're going to have guys it was like that in the older days, a lot. And Vince got rid of all that. I mean, guys sat in the dressing room, I'm not putting him over. Now, here's a guy that could pack every frickin' building in the world. Hardest wrestler in the world. And here you got Backlund saying, I ain't putting him over. See what I'm trying to say?
I hear you, yep, loud and clear.
All the money this guy could bring into the company, here this other guy, he worried more about getting his hand raised than getting his pocketbook fat.
Right.
Sasha Banks just told you, I care more about did we call that in the old days? No, we call that in the old days?
Being a mark for yourself?
Glory happen.
Close enough?
Glory happen. It's pretty much what we're saying, being a mark for yourself. Who in the hell would throw away that position? It wasn't like they was mistreating her. Now, if somebody got room that I feel bad for, and she didn't even cause that, but Vince still tried to do something with her, and it wasn't even her fault. And that's our Slooker's daughter.
Why is that?
Well, he can't promote that name. And that was her, that was her. Like
that
Charlotte.
Really took maybe someone that was average and made them a little more special by being a snooker.
Yeah, I mean, the Superfly daughter, I mean, it's like Charlotte Flair is running off of being Flair. She's running on it.
Yep. And she's doing great for herself.
This other woman, they put her in this, I don't know what the hell it is.
Who?
Slooker's daughter.
Tamina.
Yeah.
She looks like she has on almost like Sons of Anarchy gear. Yeah. She's covered from throat to foot.
Yes. Don't let her talk.
It's not the most flattering outfit.
No. And she probably hates it. I look at her face, she's miserable as shit. She can't use her glory.
But at the same time, you have she's older than me, so she's got to be about 40 years old.
Yeah, but
she doesn't have a lot of time left. She can't go quitting.
Well, she's smart. She appreciates that Vince. But what I say, her problem was not caused by her. That's why I feel bad for her. She didn't cause that for herself. Her father done that to her. When he killed that girl.
Right.
And then it's a great name, and Slooker is still a big name in the rest of the world.
Sure.
Still, no matter what. And she can't use it. She can't build off of it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a shame.
There's a lot of stuff that they probably making tapes and videos and this and stuff. She'd be narrating it. They would be doing so much stuff.
Action figure 2-packs, Jimmy and Tamina.
Yeah. You see? Yeah. So he left his daughter in a hell of a position. Then he got a son out there that they don't even look at no more.
Oh, he's been gone for over 10
for a while.
years
Yeah,
now.
that's what I'm trying to say. So Vince even feel bad about this because he got one of the biggest names in wrestling that he can't use.
He could make money off of it.
Right now today, but can't.
Yeah.
Because the name been tarnished.
And then some.
Sasha Banks, she related to Snoop Dogg, so she probably thinks she could make her career in these other places, but this is what's going to happen. They're going to say, hey, what happened with you with that company? Well, I didn't like the way they was treating me. Oh. Well, what did they do wrong? They won't let me be champion. Oh, okay. So in other words, if we don't give you a golden or platinum album, you're gonna leave us too, huh? You set that precedent for yourself. That's what I did. And look where it got me. Old Al used to always tell me, he said, Tony, I know you're in shape, but do you have your head on straight? He used to ask me that all the time.
Did Ole ever test you as a booker?
Huh?
Did Ole ever test you when he was
all
booking?
All promoters do.
Did he?
They all do. Because anybody is with you as long as every night this is happening.
Right.
But the first time, but the first time you go,
then it's a different story.
Now you found out what you got. See, putting the belt on somebody is one thing, getting it off is another. Everybody's with you as long as you're giving them what they want.
Yep.
But as soon as you're not able to provide what they want anymore, they jump ship. It's almost like I've been in the world of crack cocaine. And the weirdest thing about being in the world of drugs, I don't know how they know it. You go out and you get you a bag of dope. As soon as you get back to your place, there's about 10 people at your door. It's like they know you got it. You didn't tell nobody.
Everybody's your friend again, yep.
Yeah. You didn't tell nobody. You didn't promote it. You didn't advertise it. But for some reason, they know you got it. And then when it's gone,
gone.
They gone with it. Me and Junkyard Dog used to bring girls to the room. We sat there and do our dope with the girls. Then we ready for a little action afterwards, right? They would make excuses. Or let me go downstairs to get a soda. Or let me go get this. Oh, I got some more in my car. Me and Dog sat there in the room, and then we look at each other. That fucking brawl ain't coming back. We just got took.
You got hustled.
As soon as the dope was gone, the girl was gone too. As soon as the money is gone, the girl is gone too. That's how Sasha Banks told Vince. I stay with you as long as I get what I want. As soon as I don't get what I want, I'm leaving you. And she didn't keep it secret. If she had kept it secret, she probably would have got away with it.
Well, again, she didn't make public comments about it. It was, the old telegraph.
She told somebody.
Or maybe someone on the opposite end that she asked.
She told somebody.
Maybe on the flip side, it was who she requested the release from.
No,
leaked it.
they wouldn't do that. No, they wouldn't do that. Not in the office. Vince would fire anybody that worked in the office to do that.
And she's also married to a WWE employee, so you have that too.
Well, how do you find out, see? That's my point. If you found out, it was around the WWE dressing room before it got here.
Sure, before it
got outside of the dressing room.
Probably in several variations of the real actual conversation. She'd probably been running them off
for quite a while.
Well, like I said, she did do that interview that I think...
She probably been bitching and complaining in the dressing room for quite a while about that.
Well, between that interview she did that we mentioned...
And they gave her the belt to shut her mouth up, and she probably didn't shut up.
And I tell you, in Charlotte Flair's book, she had some kind of unflattering comments to make about Sasha, too. So maybe, not to paraphrase John Cena, but maybe there needs to be a little attitude adjustment. Maybe she needs to realize
it's too late now.
She was in a very good position.
She's going to realize that.
Well, I think time can heal all wounds.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Not with Vince. You get one bite of the apple, brother.
You got to remember again, Tony.
You know why, don't you?
Why?
Because of his dad.
That's how Vince Senior was?
He give people sucker chance, they fuck him a sucker time too.
So he saw that and he won't let it happen.
He ain't gonna let you do that. No, he's not gonna be a mark for you. He's not gonna do that. He figured that if you are the only person right now at this moment that give her a career, she turn on that person. She don't have nothing to offer anybody else. She don't realize that. That's what I try to explain to my wife. You know, when you realize, when I was in wrestling, I thought I could do this and I could do that. But what I forgot, what made Tony Atlas was wrestling. That's why Hogan, even though he had all these outside connections, he knew that without being affiliated with the WWE, that other stuff disappears too. Mm-hmm. They wanted him because he was a WWE Hall of Famer. They wanted him because he was Hulkamania. They wanted him because he was world champion. As he got kicked off the WWE Hall of Fame list, and that's during that bad time he went through a couple of years back. Yep. Did you see anybody else calling for anything? He wasn't even on the autograph signing. Nobody wanted his autograph.
I don't think that was the fans. I know Hogan was offered big money to do those WrestleCon conventions. He turned them down.
Turned them down because he knew without Vince, none of this means nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
He knows that. That's why he keep going back to wrestling. Without the wrestling, there's no Hogan.
Right.
That's why I go to the gym. Without the body, there's no Tony Atlas. You know, I love the depth, but if I come and sit at a table and look like Dutch Mantel, nobody. you understand what I'm trying to say?
I hear you.
Yeah, people. That's just how it is. What made you the same people that gave you what you got are the same people that can take it all away. Vince going to use her as an example. She just made an example out of herself. That's all she did.
She'll be the boss no more.
Done. Done. Done.
All right.
Because what he need her for, that's what she don't understand.
It is the time when the company pushes the company more than any individual
well,
talent
you got
to avoid situations like this.
And it's worse now because he got down at NXT, thousands of girls.
Well, maybe not thousands, but lots, dozens and dozens and dozens.
Thousands. You got girls on the independent circuit that would just love to
lose the championship.
Oh, yep. You kidding? As long as they're on TV, they don't give a shit about winning or losing. They with WWE. See, people don't realize it don't matter your position with the WWE. It don't matter if you're a referee, a jobber, a main eventer, a champion. You are part of the company. See, they don't have what is so great about wrestling now. Of all the girls there, all of them is not in a position Charlotte is or Sasha or any of them. They're not. Like these other girls that come out, the misfits like girl, they call them.
The Riot Squad?
The Riot Squad.
Yeah.
They get beat every night. But they're getting popular. If you put the Riot Squad at a table, put Sasha Banks at a table, you're going to see the same people going to ask the Riot Squad for their autograph they ask Sasha. Same people going to ask them for their autograph like they're going to ask Charlotte Flair. To these people, they don't see the Riot Squads as jobbers. They see the Riot Squad as WWE superstars, nothing else.
Right.
That's what the fans see. And what Sasha just did, when you got something that would put you in that type of position, see, other people look at that stuff too. But let's say somebody would probably think about making a movie. Then they call it, hey, what happened with you and that Sasha girl? Oh, she walked out on the bus. She didn't like the way we were doing things. Oh, okay, thank you. Miz didn't get a great break when he first started.
Look at him now. Look at him now.
He didn't start off with all the glory and titles and all this and that stuff.
He is
they were putting more push with John Morrison than they were with Miz.
At one point, yeah.
John Morrison was the guy, not Miz.
Miz is the ultimate company guy.
Now he's the
anything they need, anything they want, he does it.
And look at Mark Henry. Mark Henry is still with WWE. He's not as active.
24 years after the fact, yeah.
But he's not as active.
Right, but he's still there.
But he's still there.
He's getting the payday.
Yeah, and there's a guy that, how many guys at 6'4", 400 pounds, would go in the ring and lay down for a midget? Mark Henry done it.
He did it.
He laid down for Evan Bourne. All the little guys that wasn't even 150 pounds, beat Mark Henry.
He ate a shit sandwich.
And he did, but he's still there.
He's still there.
And now he got his own radio station on satellite radio. Told me about it yesterday.
Oh, really?
I talked to him yesterday.
He's going to have to get you on there.
Yeah, he told me when it's going to be. It was on this morning. Come on,
really?
At 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. So you probably could look it up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I will.
he told me to come on at 9 o'clock this morning. He was telling me.
Well, you know, we
he
can
told
do
me
it.
that last night. I talked to him last night.
We'll have to send the link out on social media.
Yeah, see, once you screw one company,
there's a trickle-on down effect.
When I walked out on this, I figured I would go to the bodybuilding world. Now, they were scared to push me. Because what if I don't like the place I got?
Yeah.
I mean, you got people go endorse in protein. They want me to advertise their protein, advertise their weight, advertise the weight belt, all the exercise equipment. They're not going to hire me for advertisement because as soon as I go into that company, WBBG or MPC, they start calling sponsors. So the sponsors, they say, oh yeah, we would love to use him, you know, to advertise our new this or advertise this. Like you buy the Muscle magazine, you know it's a lot of advertising. And you see the bodybuilder advertising right there. With the bodybuilder doing the advertisement, it's probably not the guy with the best body, but it's the guy that they could depend on.
Most reliable.
Most reliable. Allowability to be a lot. Sasha just started her career. It's too early for her to make power moves. Like I told my wife, get something else first.
Right.
See, what else you got? Who's going to be talking about her 2 years from now?
Well, again, we'll have to see how it works itself out. But, well,
we
have a very educated assumption.
Well, the reason is, in my day, you could quit wrestling for 5 years and still remember because they didn't see nothing else but you. We have 5 stations. There's too much distraction for anybody to worry about Sasha Banks.
Well, and we saw firsthand at WrestleCon, there's a lot of legends from the 80s that were making a lot more money at the autograph booths from guys that just left WWE a couple of years ago.
That's right.
All right.
Because we was on TV when there was no distraction.
Right.
So when they had 3 stations, 3, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and then public access.
Yeah.
So if you was on one of them 3 stations, brother, like John Wayne, they know him today. Clint Eastwood, they know him today, even though he's not as active.
Right.
Now you tell them who the top actors are now. You may know. How many people know who the top actor is today?
Exactly.
The only one they know is Dwayne Johnson.
Right.
That's it. If you're not The Rock, nobody know who the hell
it's
you are.
It's not even what it was 20 years ago as far as all the top talent in Hollywood goes.
There's too many of them.
Yeah.
You can't remember all these actors.
No.
You got, 140-some stations?
Yep. And they all have something on. Yeah.
So how in the world then people are going to remember all the damn actors now? See, when John Wayne and Humphrey Bogart and all them guys made a movie, I mean, you didn't see no actor but Humphrey Bogart. He had no competition.
Right.
You know, he had no distraction. So every time you watch a movie, they tell you who the star is. It could be Powers or like Johnny Weissmuller. For years, when you talk about Tarzan, you thought of Johnny Weissmuller.
Right.
Then it's had all these different actors to play Tarzan. Nobody could tell me who was the last Tarzan.
I couldn't.
Nobody know. See? Nobody know who was the last Superman or the last Batman. Batman have changed talent.
There's been so many Batmans, my God, right.
That nobody remember none of them. They just remember Batman, but they don't remember the actor. Sasha Banks will be forgotten about before summer is over.
Wow. Well, all right, Tony, I guess at the end we need to sum it up as by saying, if you are a WWE superstar and you want to quit, give it a lot of thought.
A lot of thought.
Think about what life is going to be like once you're not getting that paycheck and the bookings anymore,
but
right?
not only that, it's all downhill in the wrestling world. You're not going to be on a bigger stage. There's nothing bigger. Everything you get out of the WWE going to be smaller and less than what you got now. So you're giving up a lot for a little.
But
maybe
again,
you might get lucky and get into a movie here now and then. You know, like Paige came back.
Yeah.
She knows not foolish. Sasha Banks is already, the reason Vince Sonnehold told her to think about it, when she come back, he got a whole new plan for her. And it's all pointing this way. That is Sasha Banks' future now. right here.
All right, wrestling fans, you heard it from the Hall of Famer himself to any WWE superstars out there. Again,
to someone that did it.
Think about life, what it's like now.
And I had more to offer than Sasha Banks.
And what it could be.
A lot more.
All right, well.
I had a lot more to offer the company than Sasha Banks.
You will remain eventer.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, wrestling fans, we'll be back after this brief timeout.
See the moments.
Generation X invades WCW.
You'll always remember. Like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
They're ready. Ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now, online, or wherever books are sold.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back, Tony. Another interesting episode here. We always find great topics to discuss.
Yeah, we do.
The fans, I mean, I can't believe how many of them packed the studio tonight. They've seen several great tapings. We have one more we're going to do after this one. But, you know, April is a great month. One of my favorite months of the year. Springtime is coming.
And what else happened in April?
What else happens in April?
On the 23rd.
Well, you want to know what, Tony? I actually remembered that because everyone here in the MWF said you are such a valued member of the team. We got you this.
Oh!
Happy birthday to the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
The 23rd of April, all y'all remember, that's Tony Atlas' birthday.
We remembered.
Happy birthday to you. And look what he gave me.
Happy birthday
He gave me,
to you.
he messed around and
Happy
gave me
birthday,
a New York
Tony.
Jet, a New York Jet jersey.
That's not a New York Jets one. I'm worried that Monique is going to cut off the sleeves to show off the guns, brother.
You let me, if my wife do that, I would jump down her throat, tap things on her liver, and dare her heart to be.
Well, maybe Robert Kraft will see you in this and he'll offer you a job with the Patriots.
Robert Kraft will see me in this and probably get me laid.
Well, as long as he doesn't ask you to do what happened to him at the massage parlor, I guess.
Well, hey, he's an old man.
He wanted a
trying
little
to,
fellatio.
he want to get a little poo-poo. Like that grandpa had poo-poo.
Let him have his
Let him have a little
fellatio.
poo-poo.
All right.
That was, you know, what is what's so weird about us as a human?
No.
We only get mad at people when they have sex. Yeah.
I never looked at it like that.
Bill Clinton, what we got so mad about him for?
I get mad at a lot of people, and very rarely.
But mainly sex. As long as you don't, everything, if you notice, sexual harassment, sex this, sex that, it all surrounds sex. See, most people ain't getting none. And those that ain't getting none get terribly upset when somebody do get some.
They're jealous.
Jealous.
So you think these social justice
Well,
warriors,
the
they're
first
jealous
murder-
of Robert Kraft getting the fellatio?
Of course.
Really? I didn't think of it
Come
like
on.
that.
He's rich, he's famous. He got the best football team in the history, one of the best, because they have others before him.
Yeah.
But at the present time, he got the #1 football team in the world. Right. There's nobody better than the Patriots right now.
Right now.
It's been proven over and over, time and time again. They had took on all challenges, you know. I think it's going to be a great loss with Gronkowski, but then I saw what he did with the trophy. They should get rid of that idiot.
You didn't like that?
No. You guys have fought for that. It means so much to so many players over the years. The team that lost to this guy, you know, and he's going to use it for a baseball bat.
Wasn't the most respectful usage of it.
He showed no respect for something that people worked so. Brady would have never done that. Tom Brady would have never done that. You look at all the trophies, didn't get the one with the dent in it. That's like getting a brand new car and then taking your keys and scratching up the door. It's a thing called respect for something. He showed no respect for that trophy. He got it so many times. Him and the guy that threw the ball at him, they had it so many times that they don't know how other players, like for the New York Jets and the Pats, the Packers and the Rams and all the teams that fought all year for that trophy. And then this big goofball, who I had a lot of respect for until he did that, he took away all my respect for him.
Really?
He disrespected that trophy. He treated that trophy like it was nothing. Piece of garbage to him. It's a piece of garbage to him. It means nothing to him.
He certainly didn't cherish it like some.
Didn't mean nothing to this guy.
All right.
Nothing.
Well,
to take that trophy to hit a baseball with it, how much respect you shown the game. Now, how you think the team that lost to them felt? They wouldn't have done that. They would have been so proud of that. They would have put it up on a mantle. They would have been so proud that they finally, there's teams that never even got one.
Sure.
And they got how many?
6.
6. He did the same thing to that trophy that Sasha Banks did to Vince. No appreciation for the hard work, sweats. There's people that got injured to get that. He went to the hospital to get it. Brady got hurt getting that trophy.
Yeah.
They carry guys off the field for that trophy. Ain't gonna use it for a freaking baseball bat.
All right, wrestling fans, you heard it from the Hall of Famer himself, Tony Atlas.
You're a freaking idiot for doing that.
Tony is opinionated tonight. If you want to talk about celebrities like Gronkowski, well, Tony and I are back. Money in the Bank weekend. WWE's annual pay-per-view takes place in Hartford, Connecticut. On our full-length Memories and Legends episode, we discuss...
High Towers should slap him.
What's that?
High Towers should slap him.
I thought you were going to say crap.
Gronkowski. I'm glad he's gone there. First, I was sad that you're leaving.
Not anymore.
No. Take his old cripper ass out of there.
The Tony Atlas Celebrities episode. Then the first...
What an idiot.
In early June, we're going to have a Demolition Weekend. My favorite tag team in WWF history, Axe and Smash. Demolition right here in this studio. We have the eBay store. So many great items going on now. Check it out. And the Patreon is in that soft launch status. Again, every dollar spent helps us keep the lights on. You don't want to see the lights come off because that means we don't have the show anymore. We don't want that.
Don't want that.
All right, for the Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, you and yours be well.